All right, it's a nice win for the Utah Jazz against the Brooklyn Nets minus James Harden, minus Kevin Durant, minus Kyrie Irving, minus basically anyone who is a starting level or even rotation level player in the NBA. This is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. So that was not much of a contest for the Utah Jazz. As a Jazz fan, I was excited to watch the Jazz play the Nets. Although the last time the Jazz played the Nets, it hurt my feelings. Kyrie Irving destroyed Utah last time, and they couldn't find an answer. And it was kind of shortly after that game against Kyrie Irving and the Durantless Nets, and that was pre-Harden trade and all this. So they had, their nice players on the floor that they ended up trading for Harden and whatnot. But they killed the Jazz, and the Jazz after that game went on a crazy run. I was disappointed tonight because guess what? This was really not a competitive game. Anyone who came into this thinking it was going to be remotely close was wrong. This was just the Brooklyn Nets folding the queen, and it wasn't very fun, not going to lie. Kenny, yeah, let's go. Let's go, Kenny. Clarkson couldn't make a shot. Yeah, I mean, that's something we'll talk about. There's not a lot to talk about the Nets. They literally did not play anyone of note. So what are you supposed to talk about? I would have liked to see the Nets play somebody, but I guess we learned tonight if the Nets don't play their best players, the Utah Jazz destroy them. So anyways, DW 499. Thank you, DW. On a night when the Nets did not show up, thank you. Jazz going all the way. I agree. Jazz are going all the way if they can shoot like they did tonight. Kenny, real nail biter. Yeah, we were all worried. I was very nervous. Clay Harris, favorite part of the game, the reaction. Yeah, probably this might be a little more interesting than that. I'm not gonna say that, I guess, although I just literally just did. But that game was terrible. I'm sure ESPN was pissed. I actually watch. I'm gonna just give you guys a little secret. I don't watch ESPN. I don't have ESPN. I just get Roots. I get what is it? AT&T Sportsnet, the local sports dump station. But anyways, I don't like to pay $50 for ESPN just to watch Jazz games when they're on national TV. So anyways, I didn't see the ESPN thing, but people were saying online they literally went to Woj doing a trade deadline special. That tells you all you need to know about this game, which was not great. But there's some things you should be happy about. At least the Utah Jazz killed them. You'd much rather that the Jazz do really well. It would have been kind of bad if you go into a game like this and the Jazz don't do well. So there's that. Shanther, close game for sure. Yeah, no, it was not close ever. Mountain Hobbler, Rudy is my MVP. He's so dominant. Rudy Gobert is so incredibly dominant. And then, in fact, let's just do this tonight. Let's just do chat tonight because there's just not a lot to say. Donovan Mitchell in the last 2 or 3 games has looked like just an absolute monster again tonight. He was just fantastic again. I should have pulled this up earlier. Utah, let's see. Tonight, Donovan Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell scored 27 points. It's crazy. Let's see. How many minutes? Donovan Mitchell scores 27 points in 27 minutes. Crazy. 61% from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, and a lot of those were pull-ups, so that's just insanely good. 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 4 assists. Let's see. No, that's Conley. So Donovan Mitchell had 6 rebounds, 7 assists. I think Donovan knows about the triple-double thing, and that the Jazz have the longest time between having a triple-double. I think he knows, and I think he's going to get there eventually. Tonight, if he just played, he'd have got it, honestly. 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He played 27 minutes. If Donovan Mitchell plays, 36 minutes, he might get it. Come on, Quinn. Aren't you worried about meaningless stats and meaningless things that only us fans and bloggers and writers care about? Quinn? What do you care about, Quinn? You just care about winning, Quinn? You just care about not getting your players injured, Quinn? Is that what you're worried about, Quinn? I would hate that. Let's see. If I were a Nets fan, I would be over this Kyrie stuff. Yeah, it was funny. I saw someone on Twitter. He put out like a thing like, what was it? Like the 23rd, he had family matters to attend to, and someone posted online, they looked up his birthday. Guess what day it was? March 23rd. So guess what, Kyrie? I don't care. You know what I do at work sometimes when I don't want to go to work and it's my birthday? You know, we've all done this too. This is why I'm not going to rag on Kyrie. Have you ever like called in sick on your birthday or on a day that you were just like, you know what? My mom and dad are going to Disney, to Lagoon, and I want to go. Sorry, boss, I'm sick. It happens. But you know what would be funny is if Kyrie was just honest and said, hey, I want to be off on my birthday. And guess what? I would be totally fine with that because I don't care. Let's see. I stand corrected. Clarkson didn't rebound from last game, but Bogey did. Ezekiel Raisibe. I really hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, it was nice to see Bogey shoot, and that was one thing. I mean, that's one thing we can talk about. Bogey shot it really nicely tonight, so that's great. The shot was falling. 4 for 6 from 3, 5 for 8 from the field. 18 points and a plus 36. I mean, the Jazz starters are crazy plus minus. But anyways, he shot the ball well, so you got to be happy with that, you know. I will say it's against a G League team, so, you know, I want to see it against better competition. That's why it'll be nice when they play the Grizzlies. Can Bogey do it again? And can we start stringing together consecutive shooting nights? And, you know, I was talking to some guy on Twitter the other day who was so nice to me. I just love people like that on Twitter who just come so kindly to me. But I was having a conversation about Bogey, and someone told me that, oh, you're only looking at the last 10 to 15 games. No, you all know who are here. You guys are the hoops nerds who watch these games with me. You guys are crazy like me. We're nerds about this. We've been watching Bogey. And the thing that's frustrating about this entire season is that Bogey has been inconsistent. He had a stretch early in the year where he went like 7 for 8 from 3 and 5 for 8 and 6 for 9. And then he just drops off. And he'll go for like 4 games where he goes like 2 for 18 in like a 3-game span. And what you want from Bogey is consistency. That was the big thing last year because his defense his defense actually in the last 2 or 3 games, he's made some nice plays. I actually have to say, like, his defense looks a little bit better than it was earlier, so you got to give him credit for that too. But he's just not been consistent like he was last year. Last year, his consistent shooting overcame so many things. He was 20 points per game, and that's because he was shooting 40, mid 40s or low 40s 3% every single night. It would be 4 for 8 or 4 for 10 or 3 for 9 every single night. He was hitting threes. And this season, it's just not been that. It's been like 7 for 10, and then he's off for 2 games. What you need from Bogey is consistency. You need that consistent shot. You need Donovan Mitchell to look to that wing and see Bogey open and know that if I get Bogey that ball, he's burying it if he's open. That's what you need. And so you need Bogey to get some confidence. So hopefully this was a step kind of in that direction. You need it really badly. Let's see. For reals, this Ingles slump has to end. Yeah, he was shooting 81% from 3 before this. What the heck? What the heck, Ingles? You think you can just get away with shooting 1 for 6 from 3, Ingles? 16%? What is this? Where did this guy come from? 16%? He shoots 81% from 3 and for 3 games, and he thinks he can just take a day off. Are you serious, Ingles? Come on, man. In all honesty, he'll probably get back to shooting 40% and be consistent again. I'd give it time. He doesn't look hurt, just lack of confidence. Lee Christensen. I agree. I mean, we know that Bogey's going to shoot the ball, and we all know that he's going to, this slump is going to end at some point, and maybe that's tonight, I don't think anyone was worried about the slump ending. There were other things that are troubling. This season, Bogey's percentage at the rim is terrible. It is absolutely horrendous, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but just believe me, his percentage shooting the ball at the rim is just putrid. It's really, really bad. So when you have Bogey shooting that bad at the rim, and he's not shooting the 3, and you combine with the fact that his defense this year has been suspect, and he's been hunted by, like when we played the Jimmy Butler, that Heat game, that was really the game to me that kind of cracked the Jazz a little bit when they were playing so well. It was Jimmy Butler going at Bogey, and it felt like that did something to Bogey mentally, and I swear that's like when the horrendous shooting started. It wasn't great to begin the year, but it got even worse at that point. And so, those things, so if he's not shooting at the rim a high percentage, if he's not able to defend, and if you're not able to play him at the end of games because they're hunting him in possessions, in isolation, that's rough. That's rough. If he's not shooting the three either, he is a net negative player. He just is. So one thing that I like to see is that the defense is better. His defense looked solid tonight. Last game, when I can't remember if it was Raptors or who it was last game, really made some nice plays. Like, I remember seeing him make a couple weak side, move over, guard the big man that's Rudy's guarding when Rudy goes to block the shot. Stuff like that made a nice effect. And he's played, good enough. If he can play good enough on defense, and if he can hit a high percentage from three, then you'll take that, I don't know what's going to happen on the trade deadline tomorrow. He may be very well moved, but I doubt it because he knows the system, and he is a legit lethal shooter when he's shooting the ball well. I think there's holy smokes, Jordan Crabtree, you're my dude tonight, Jordan Crabtree. Thank you for the quality Jazz content after every game. Jordan, thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, sir. You are amazing, and thank you. You're too kind. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Bojan. I think Bojan is at a certain point where maybe he needs to adjust what he is as a player. I think when he came to the Jazz, he really did do a lot more than I think people realize, where he drives to the rim and scores, and he scored at a really decent level. But, this season he hasn't been that. And you guys, the eye test tells you, and go look up his scoring percentage near the rim. It's terrible. Go look at Adam Bushman, who writes for SLC Dunk for the team. He's been posting some incredible stuff. Go to his Twitter account. He's been posting some of that. You'll see, but it's just not there. So what I think, and honestly, it's fine if he does this, just become a three-point shooter, Bogey. Just shoot the three. Who cares? We have penetrators in Donovan Mitchell, in Mike Conley, and I guess Jordan Clarkson as well will penetrate and score. He's really struggling lately. But we have guys that can do that, and Bogey doesn't need to be so much in isolation. And I actually don't mind Bogey when he's doing post-ups. I don't mind him being a post-up player. Him driving to the rim has not been effective, and I think he's just got to focus on shooting the ball. Jordan, blah, 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 whoa, Jordan Crabtree, squirrel. Yeah, exactly. That changed my view of things. Thank you, Jordan. You are the best. Thank you so much. And now, that's all I got on Bogey. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comments what you think, but that's basically what I think. Nick0310, do you think we make a move tomorrow? I think the Jazz will do something. I mean, Woj today in his trade special, go to the Woj pod. You can listen to it, but they talked about JJ Redick, and he said the dark horse for JJ Redick would be the Utah Jazz. I think that's probably dependent on a bunch of things, but I would not be. I mean, if Woj says that, you listen. When Woj speaks, we listen to the Wizard Woj. When the Wizard Woj speaks and he lays down his Wizard Woj staff and says, hey, the Jazz might be a dark horse contender, that means the Jazz are talking with JJ Redick. And that means agents are talking with the Jazz. I promise you guys, that does not come out unless agents are talking with the Jazz. Who do you think leaks this stuff? There's two things that leak things, by the way. Two sources of leaks. Agents, GMs. The majority is GMs. Unless you're Danny Ainge and you let Bill Simmons or Kevin O'Connor know that you almost traded for a guy, which is literally every trade. Danny Ainge comes out after the fact and said, oh yeah, we really tried. We tried to get him. We were in there. We were that close. We almost got AD. We almost got, every single player who gets traded. Apparently Danny Ainge was in the trade talks in some way, shape, or form. But mostly it's GMs or agents. Mostly it's agents. Because what agents are trying to do is get interest out there. I mean, this happened with Rudy Gobert, where Rudy Gobert's agent was out there shopping, and there was word out there because things were getting weird with Rudy Gobert. Remember, it took till the last day for them to finalize the thing with Rudy Gobert. And Rudy agents are out there trying to get their player paid and get the best contract possible for them. So there's agents out there talking, and if there's an agent talking to Woj, saying, hey, the Jazz, and it could be just like a tactic. You know, an agent might have said to like Woj, like to make sure Brooklyn signs JJ Redick. Hey, the Jazz have talked to me about Redick. Redick likes Quinn Snyder. If you don't pick him up, the Jazz will. That's almost like a message to another team to say, hey, you know, you don't just get JJ Redick for nothing. Utah might use their biannual exception. And honestly, and there's people been talking about biannual exceptions. Most players that get bought out will likely be picked up on a veteran minimum. But you know what? If a team wants to offer the biannual exception, they can. And if that's a team that JJ Redick's interested in, like if it's between the Brooklyn Nets and the Utah Jazz, and the Brooklyn Nets don't want to give their biannual exception for whatever reason, he might come to the Jazz because $3.5 million is better than $1 million. Show of hands in the comments. Who would rather have $3.5 million than $1 million? I would like $3 million instead of $1 million. If someone came up to me, if Bartelstein comes to me and says, hey, James, would you like $3.5 million or would you like $1 million? Guess what I'm picking? Let's see. JJ loves the Jazz. He does love Quinn Snyder. That's what Woj said. Who would we be I don't know why that was hidden. That was weird. Who would we willingly give up for Redick? Well, we probably don't have to give up anyone because it sounds like he might get bought out. And it's been mentioned so many times that it might happen. Let's see. I might like 1 million Bitcoin. Okay. My stupid green screen's making my teeth weird. It makes me self-conscious. If I yell at it, maybe it'll stop it. Yeah, unless he really wants to play with Brooklyn. That's the thing. He's probably going to Brooklyn. So, yeah, that might be what happens. Furby Jr., hand clap. I love the emojis, guys. I don't know what to say sometimes that. Let's see. What I liked about this game is that Joe was 1 for 5 from 3 and JC was 1 for 12, and I didn't even care. Yeah, it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter because Mitchell and everyone else was playing incredible. Mike Conley is just a freaking beast. Mike Conley's so good, guys. Mike Conley is such a perfect fit for this team. Honestly, okay, let's just go crazy. Let's go crazy, guys. What if we do just trade Bogey tomorrow? Let's say we trade Bogey for the guy I would love to get for the Jazz, who I think would be a better kind of fit for what the Jazz need, at least. If you're trying to look to improve the need for the Jazz, I would go after Larry Nance. He's shooting 39% from 3. He's an athletic rebounder, power forward, center combo, but he's super athletic, and since he shoots the 3, he fits that 4 spot for the Jazz, and you get that better rebounding and an athletic defender who leads the league in deflections. I've been watching a lot of Cleveland games on my League Pass rewatch and stuff. I like during my lunch break at work today, I went up to my living room because I work from home because I'm a loser, and I watched Nets Sacramento or Cavs Sacramento from like yesterday or the day before because that's what weirdos do. And I watched Larry Nance guard Harrison Barnes, so it was like perfection. Those are the 2 guys I would love the Jazz to find a way to trade for. I just think they're an improvement on Bogey. If not, it's okay. The Jazz still have Bogdanovic, and he's still a good shooter, and they'll be fine. But I just think that would be a perfect move, and he makes less than Bogey, so you actually clear up cap space so that next year you can sign Mike Conley easier, and you're not giving up the shooting, and you actually improve in a lot of areas, like rebounding, defense, size, athleticism. You have a big body that can guard. You don't have a weakness at the 4 spot on defense. There's a lot to really like. DW499, thank you, DW. Thank you, sir. I'll say it again for the Rockets in the back. I think that's what you mean. Jazz, saxophone, note, and fire. Jazz going all the way. Note, saxophone, fire. P.S. Your teeth are fine, homie. Thank you. I'm self-conscious about it. Guess what? No braces, baby. No cavities. So what the man above gave me here, he took from here. So anyways, thank you. I appreciate it. Clay Harris, watching the Otto Porter situation, like, yes, Clay, I agree. That's another guy that I would love to see on the Jazz and that I could see having a big impact on what the Jazz do. Lee Christensen, Nance relies too heavily on athleticism. That goes, he may be, let's see, Nance relies too heavily on athleticism. That goes, he may be useless. I don't think that's a good trade. Well, we'll see. You might be right, except he's 28, so he's right in his perfect prime, and you get him for the next 3-4 years. So when it's dropping off, you're fine. You just let him go, or you re-sign him at a lower amount, or trade him. So I just think, and Bogey's 30, what, 31, 32 now, 31 and a half or whatever it is. Like, Bogey's fighting age at this point as well, guys. He's fighting age. He just is. Father Time is not on his side. And so I just think he needs to adjust for his what's going on. He's had his surgery. He needs to just become more of a just pure three-point shooter, and his secondary move is to drive to the rim, And he can do it. I don't think he should stop driving to the rim, but I don't think he should avoid the three-point shot. It should always be three-point shot focus first. Where'd that hair go? If you know, let me know. Do hair plugs fix this? Let's see. DW, I love this group. Thanks for doing what you do. Thank you, DW. I appreciate you very much. Very, very much. I've got no braces to hold me down. Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer. There you go. Shantheric. By the way, Shantheric was the one who said, where'd that hair go? I don't know what I'm doing. Why did I have to say that? Lee Christensen, it would be one knee injury away from useless for Nance. I mean, sure, but that's everybody. Everyone's a one knee injury away, right? I mean, and Nance is, I don't know, guys. You gotta go for it too, right? I mean, if you're title contender, you wanna smooth out those rough edges as much as possible. You want there to be just so, because the Jazz don't have a top 5 guy. We just don't. We have an arguably top 10, top 15 guy in Rudy Gobert. And when Donovan Mitchell's shooting the ball like this, you have a top 10, top 15 guy. But Rudy Gobert is not an elite creator on offense. He is an efficient offensive player. But he's not like a creator for himself, and so he's limited to what other people create for him. That's not a bad thing. That we could talk about that forever. But that's why Rudy Gobert is probably top 10, top 15, and not top 5. Donovan Mitchell is the same thing. He's an elite offensive player, great creator. Tonight, what was it? 7 assists, incredible stuff. But he's not Kawhi on defense. When Donovan Mitchell's locked in on defense, he can be good. He can be a good defender. I don't know if he's a great defender, but he's a good defender, and he can get steals and things like that. But he's not Kawhi. He's not a stopper. So that's why he's a top 10, top 15 type guy. The Jazz do not have a top 5 guy. The Lakers have LeBron and they have AD. 2 top 5 guys on one team. That's why they're tough. So when you're the Jazz and you have 2 top 15 guys, which there's nothing to be ashamed of with that, 2 All-Stars, 3 All-Stars with Mike Conley. Mike Conley is a top 20, top 25 guy, right? Around there, something like that. When that's your team and then you've got lots of role players, you've got to iron out every edge. You just do. You can't get by on having LeBron like the Lakers get to. Like the Lakers get the easy route. They just do. They're playing on easy. The Jazz are playing on hard mode. And so you have to round out the edges. And if Bojan Bogdanovic is shooting, which is great on offense, but he's a net negative on defense, if you can keep the shooting and replace that defense with an upgrade, you got to think about it. You got to think about it. Now, Bogey knows the offense, and it's not as simple as plug and play like in fantasy basketball, but rebounding travels, defense travels, and Nance on the Jazz, I promise you, would play hard. And he's friends with Jordan Clarkson, and so that's why I'd be pro that. I would think about doing that if I was the Jazz. Plus, you free up cap space to sign Conley next year, and you have a 3 or 4 year run that's pretty amazing. Shan Therick, $5. Thank you, Shan. I appreciate that a ton. Oi, chat, join the Discord and come have fun with us. Yes, guys, it's in the community tab. Go join the Discord. And I think I put it up. If you look at the banner, I think on there it shows like my social media or whatever, but it also shows the Discord. Go join the Discord. It's really fun. It's growing. All of you, go do that. It's really great. Go join the Discord. It's positive environment. Everyone be positive. Hoops Nerd Channel is a positive place. It's a positive place. We do not be jerks to each other in this place, all right? We do not do that. And the Discord is great, and you guys are fun on there. And keep it up. Keep it positive. Keep it nice. Even if we lose, we can still be nice. Robert Hall, oi, oi, oi. Is that how we say it? Lee Christensen, that's a good point. Didn't think about the chemistry with Nance and Clarkson. Yeah, plus guess what, guys? The Jazz have made like a trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers like 3 years in a row. It's like our tradition now. It really is. And guess what? Clarkson played with Nance in LA, in Cleveland, and it would be kind of fun if he joined Clarkson in Utah. And by the way, Clarkson is in a bad slump right now, the last 4 or 5 games. Maybe you get Nance and it helps out Clarkson in some way. Who knows? Maybe it'll give him a shot of good vibes or something. But yes, Nick0310, favorite community on YouTube. I agree. It's great. Honestly, what makes this channel fun is you guys. I appreciate you guys a ton. You guys are amazing. That's what makes this anything. Without you guys, there's no channel. Without you guys, there's no Discord. There's nothing. There's no Hoops Nerd channel, honestly. And it's positive for Mexicans too. Thank you, Jorge. I agree. Hay ser positivo para los mexicanos. Cierto? Cierto. So that's what we got to be. We got to be positive, like the Jazz, who had a nice win tonight, even though they were playing a G League team. It was nice. That's all I got. Oh, no. Audrey is not coming out tonight, Furby Jr. The dog is not coming. Neither are the children. Even though they would probably have fun doing that. They're all in bed. Would you give up Clarkson to get Gordon? I would not give up Clarkson because I actually think he's a really essential part of this team. When Clarkson's playing well, that's what makes this Jazz team insane. You know, he's just not shooting the ball well right now, but it will come around. And we really need Clarkson to shoot the ball well in the playoffs. I mean, that's what we really want. Everyone wants the dog. Maybe next time, because I kind of want to go to bed. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. If you join the channel, maybe we'll bring Audrey in next time. We'll see. She doesn't understand the channel or how to, like, sit still. So we'll get Audrey in here one of these nights. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord. Go find the link. Make sure if you want to join the channel, join it right now. There's a button right there. It'd be great. And you can join the chat, which is awesome. Guys, that's all I got to say. I will talk to you